My name is Cherry Blossom, and this is Talk to the Hamsa, where we talk about spirituality and metaphysics and science. Spirituality, metaphysics, and science. Spirituality, metaphysics, and science. I'm trying to really let it sink in right now because this is my first type of video doing this, and my Virgo side of me wants it to be perfect as possible, so bear with me here. Let's start off with myself, I guess. I'm Elizabeth Cherry Blossom, and this is my channel for psychic readings through art and discussions of things that would benefit the future. I guess, I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Okay. I'm a little shy here, so I'm trying to be as outgoing as I naturally am at times. So, okay, I'm gonna do a mini reading as a treat for whoever watches. So, this will be for one. Sorry if it's backwards, but I'll try to fix that in editing. Okay, for option one, I am going to do a quick mini reading, and I am going to draw out what I get of what I see for option one. And so far, let me see here. It was in my head. I was getting the color green, and not too great at drawing shamrocks right now because I'm a little nervous, but I got a shamrock clover in my head. Oh my goodness. So I don't know if you have Irish ancestry, or maybe you're going to be very lucky this coming month. Happy. Okay, you don't have to say you resonate with this, but I'm getting you don't really wash your hands that often, so please wash your hands more often than you would. For many reasons, but particularly this month. Just forewarning, I get the sense of food poisoning, so just be careful of where you eat and what you eat with, and your hands. I mean, everybody should do that every day anyway, so so I got a happy face, and let's see what else I got. Money sign, business oriented, money is very important to you. Security and finances is very important to you, so maybe you're a Capricorn. Okay, well, I hope you enjoy your mini reading. But let's see here. I'm trying to think of a topic to talk about, and this is my first video for this, so I have to start putting out these videos because when I was in deep meditation many a time, I was told that this has to happen, so bear with me here. Let's see. Okay, so I come from a line of metaphysical people in my family, and people in my family who have studied the paranormal a lot. And one of the things I did want to talk about in one of my videos is a lot of paranormal stuff. I used to read as a kid a lot of the mediums who would give readings, connecting the people who've passed on to their loved ones who are still alive. And what really upsets me about that is the fact that it was not taken seriously back in the 1920s, around that era, and especially when photography started. The real evidence of ectoplasma versus the obviously fake evidence of ectoplasma, if you do your research. Some of it's real, and because of photography tricks and ridiculous photography tricks that shouldn't even be made, it doesn't get count as scientific evidence. It's sad to say, but there is a possibility that ectoplasma does exist. I don't want to say it does because I myself I've had a few experiences with myself to where there's a possibility, if ectoplasma is real, there is a possibility that maybe what I saw was ectoplasma, but then again, the mind does play tricks on people, and I am definitely a woman of science, spiritual science. So eventually I would like to document my findings of ectoplasma, searching for it and trying to physically manifest it into reality. It sounds ridiculous, but I want to try to recreate what people went through in the 1920s and see, out of the two different experiments, the ones that were legitly supposedly had that ectoplasma observance and experience, to recreate what those people did back then versus the ones who faked the ectoplasma and their mediumship readings, like a side-by-side comparison, and to show the world that if ectoplasma does exist, to have people out there rediscovering that. And now there's a lot of people who are like, okay, this is crazy, there's no such thing as the afterlife, there's no such thing as this and that. There is such a thing of documentation, experimenting, and a result of that experiment. Ethically, of course. I don't believe in unethical experiments whatsoever. And so I want to keep everything as pure, high vibrational as possible if I were to conduct this experiment. I'm guessing it might take me anywhere. I want to try it for at least 30 days. And if after 30 days I get no result of any substance of ectoplasma, then you could just chalk it up to, alright, you know what, it was all just theoretical. It was just camera tricks. It was just, or maybe it was just a fluke of something that happened to, like, a group of people or a person. Another topic that I want to get into is spontaneous human combustion. And I had read this book back when I was a child. Forgot what it was called. It came in a series, so it spoke of weird events that would happen and mystical creatures and stuff you might see in a tabloid that sounds weird, like Sasquatch, or ridiculous stuff like that. Fairy tales, legends, mythology, stuff like that. And but what I found interesting was one article I had read in that book, in one of the books. It's like a collective series. Spontaneous human combustion. Now, there has been documented evidence of spontaneous human combustion throughout history, and there's no explanation for it, as best as forensics or forensic detectives try to explain what could have happened. It's still pretty vague when you really look at it logically of what really happened, unless someone is very, very well at propping up everything together to make it look like someone really did spontaneously combust, or they could have just been murdered and it's just some guy back some time ago who had this murder operation of, you know, like some serial killer. So, there's a possibility of that. There's many possibilities when it comes to spontaneous human combustion. Someone who was just really good at making it look like somebody spontaneously combusted, but they really just kind of offed them, or whatever. But that's just a possibility. There's so many possibilities of what really happened. But for giggles, when we really look at spontaneous human combustion, when you really just look at it, like black and white, just look at what happened and the photo evidence, so it's just strange. Because there's no other temperament, nothing was moved from what it looks like in the photo. Nothing was really tampered with, but there was this person missing a leg, you know, that one leg caught on fire, or part of their torso was like melted and burnt away and then just left there perfectly positioned, like if they were just like happened to be that way. No, one I saw with this guy, he was like rolled up. Was he rolled up in something? I'm trying to remember. No, this guy fell into the fireplace and half of his body was burned. That's a good explanation for that one if you think about it. He could have been drinking, fell into the fireplace. He was just really drunk, fell into the fireplace, and then part of him only burned. I don't know. And again, why didn't the whole place catch on fire? There's so many weird phenomenons that happen in the world that have no explanation that the human mind can perceive. And us as a society, I guess that scares us. It scares humanity. That those things they're out there and there's like no human explanation for. How would you explain stuff like that? We make crazy assumptions, but the ones who really know are the ones who were there when that particular thing was made or done. Like the only one in that spontaneous human combustion who really knows what happened is the person it happened to. So I think that's about it for topics. That was a pretty good roll there. I guess I could try to keep these videos short at first. Eventually I would like to bring on people who are also like into the same stuff, have extensive study in it. I have a lot of... I should start a ghost story segment because I've got some pretty good ones. Some pretty... very, yeah. Huh. This morning I woke up and I had the weirdest dream. I woke up and had this dream where the last thing I heard that I remembered was, you were meant to be born of this organization or part of this organization. I thought that was pretty interesting. So today when I was drinking my tea, back when I was a teenager, my grandmother, she used to put gemstones, certain rocks in her water and put it in the windowsill, and the sunlight would hit it and all the minerals of that particular gemstone or stone would go into the water, and then you drink it, and there's a lot of minerals, very healthy. So you just make sure you wash the stone before, put it in there. But I did it today with red jasper, and this was the stone I did it with. And what I find interesting is the sacral for bringing your manifestations into the physical realm. That's what that's for, and this is the sacral color. It's like an orangey red. Not orange, but like a orangey red. I guess it could be used for root chakra, but this is well, I guess it's just red, huh? Why am I getting orangey off of it? I don't know. But it unblocks. If you have energy blocked inside you, one of your chakras, or in between the two, this is perfect for that. Put it in with some tea, let it sit there, you know, while it's cooling down, and then once it's cool, just drink it. If you want to keep it overnight, you know, in the fridge. So, oh, so good though. Jasmine green tea with red jasper. Let's see here. Oh, we'll go back to the mini readings. So now that we have done option number 1 mini reading, we are on to option 2. Option 2. Thank you if you watched all the way up to option 2. Make sure to like and subscribe. And if you are just clicking on one of the timestamps, it's okay. I forgive you. It's fine. Let me see here. For option 2, I am tuning into option 2's energy. Be mindful you have something in the oven, don't let it burn. If not, then whatever. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Or a bun in the oven. Ooh. Let me try to draw the oven door here. A bun in the oven. Okay, this is not an oven. I don't even know what that is. Looks like a letter B. No, 064. 061. OG. Anyways, might be pregnant. Somebody? Nobody? Okay. Anything here? Drinking. And a bagel. Do not eat too much in the month of January, because oh wait a minute, I did hear that we're going into February. In February, there's gonna be a lot of sweet things you gotta stay away from. I don't know if you're diabetic or what exactly, but or it could be with the teeth. Be very mindful of your teeth. Don't fall for the Valentine's candy. It's like you like sweets, a lot of sweets, and that's yummy. Taurus, maybe? Let me know in the comments. The other earth energy I got was Capricorn, wasn't it? I don't remember. Anyways, thank you. That was your mini reading. Have a nice day. And if you're still here for the chat discussions, awesome. I hope that, I don't know, you enjoy whatever we're talking about. The last one we were talking about, spontaneous human combustion. The other topic I wanted to talk about was intention. And intention is basically very powerful. Whatever you speak, whatever you put out there, whatever you are feeling inside and thinking, and if it's in sync with each other, if you're feeling the same as what you're thinking, that's a very powerful thing. The next action you take after that can determine a lot for your future. The butterfly effect. It's like you're constantly in the moment of a butterfly effect. And when you're in that moment, depending on what you're experiencing around you, you could decide to take many different routes. But each one is a different adventure sometimes, or maybe all the time. I'm not quite sure. But it is a ripple effect. Something that you could put in very small can snowball into something bigger. And depending on the supporting people with that intention, could add the fuel to the fire, whether it's good or bad. So that's why it is very important to be mindful and aware of our own actions, our own agenda, and our own intentions, and ask yourselves, is this bringing me more problems? Will it bring me more problems? How sure am I that it's not going to bring me any problems? And if it brings me problems, do I worry about it then? Or why not worry about it right this moment before I even take that action? We need to be more aware of our actions. We need to be holding each other accountable for things. The biggest problem in society today, of why there's so many negative things happening in the world, is because nobody is being held to accountability properly. What's going to happen to me if I do this? And what's going to happen to me if I do that? Knowing that I know that it's wrong and I'm doing it anyways, thinking I'm just going to get by in society, be pampered lightly by justice. It has to be known that if you do something evil, that evil you put out there, that's a poison. And when it returns to you, you'll be drinking that poison. That could mean for your own agenda that you think is not a selfish agenda. It might be a selfish agenda if you do not refine your thinking and constantly correct yourself and ask yourself, is this not only for my highest good, but for humanity's highest good? For the children's highest good. And that's the children of the world. Not just children in your family. Not just children, like, whatever your views are on children. Doesn't matter who you are or what you think of children or about children. It's all the same thing. Children are born into this world open to learning, open to receiving, open to engaging. They come into this world open, not hiding anything. They start to close up once they start receiving the intention of an outside party. Think about it. Imagine you are a baby. You come into this not knowing your name, not knowing what's around you, what you're looking at. You're just here. And you're wondering, okay, now what? Okay, I feel this bump, 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 bump inside of me, and I smell something, but how do I know that this is called smelling? What is this? What am I experiencing here? Who am I? What am I doing here? You know, a little baby. Well, all the little baby knows is I've been inside my mom. I'm pretty happy in there. Pretty content. I'm comfortable. Or maybe I'm uncomfortable. You know, I'm uncomfortable inside my mom. I want to get out. Or I'm very comfortable inside my mom. I want to come out, but I still want to be close to my mom. Whatever is you're experiencing as you're coming in to the world. You're a blank slate. Just like this chalkboard when you wipe off everything. Okay? A blank slate. All of us is just a blank slate when we're born. And then, human interaction. First human interaction. Nurses and doctors, mom, dad, possibly just mom. Kids. Let's feel the first intention. Okay, I'm born into this world. Oh, there's a lot going around me. I'm being moved. So now you're getting the sensation of moving around. You're uncomfortable. You're cold. So we do experience cold when we're born. Okay, so now we're cold. Oh no. I hear my mom crying because we recognize, oh, that's our source, our mother. We come from her, and sounds like she's upset, but she's probably crying tears of joy, but because we don't know, we're perceiving it as something negative. So cold, oh my gosh, my mom is making this noise, I don't know. So that would make us what? Cold and disturbed by a sound. Sad. But what if it's a good experience? What if the baby comes out, room temperature, blah, 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 everything's good, everything's calm, the mother is free of pain, everybody is anxious but happy, and everything goes smooth. We come out, we experience room temperature, we experience good vibrations, we experience this, natural human reaction. We are born happy. Now, say if we are all born this way, despite circumstances, if we are all born this way, we're all born happy, imagine, okay? We're all born happy. First human interaction. Say, father didn't want the baby, so not engaging, which, since the baby does see the visual of the father, and it makes the baby happy, the father's not engaging, so the baby is not as happy. Maybe a little, why isn't that familiar sound engaging with me? Confusion. Okay, so we get confusion. Come into this world happy, start feeling confused, father comes to child, remembers something negative that happened to them as a child, so they put an energy towards the child that makes their voice hard and like, so now there's an aggressive sound that's hurting the kid's ears because it's like, hey, that's a scary sound that doesn't feel good. So now it's making the child upset and maybe crying. This is where accountability comes in. With any human. Parents should be held accountable for being emotionally detached from their child. Only to get the parents to understand to work on yourself. To heal yourself, and I strongly believe in healing yourself. I really do, and that's why I got into light work, Reiki, metaphysics, because I've been through a lot in my life, and I've seen things, very painful things. I experienced very painful things. Many times where I didn't have access to a doctor through my childhood. So I had to learn how to kind of like be my own doctor a little bit. So I really got into healing deeply. I was mauled in the face when I was little by a pit bull Dalmatian, and that experience was so overwhelming, and it's a miracle that I am alive. because of all the blood that I lost. There was no way for me to survive. I don't even, like, I'm grateful for whoever's blood I received at the hospital, because, I'm grateful for every bit of my life. But that experience put me on a path to metaphysics, medicine, light working, Reiki. And one thing I'm looking into practicing more is it's called like a psychic surgery or spiritual surgery, and it's like Reiki, but it's a little more intense, and there's a slight pain, but it's like a very small, short little pain, and then it just stops, because it's actual surgery on the body using the form of telekinesis with Reiki to remove and to heal certain parts of the body. And for that, I, study a lot of medical about the body and about Reiki, and so I am a second level Reiki master, and I've been doing Reiki on and off since I was 16, and now I'm 33. So, let me think here. I like Reiki. I like Reiki, and I want to help change the future. One day I would like to have my own spiritual school, metaphysics, and particularly focused around teaching kids. There will be a lot of other stuff there, but kids are definitely the future. I believe you teach the child to live right with, as a brotherhood, a sisterhood, with each other, and it could change history. The children really are the future, and there are things that we have to leave behind to make sure that it will change what's going on in the world with pollution and viruses and treating each other better, taking accountability. Definitely. Appropriate discipline on society to where behavior's changed and healing happens. You heal the inner child, you heal your view, your perception on life. You discover yourself and express yourself